Hi guys, I am here at my new bar. Very exciting to see. It's one that I've opened with some friends in Melbourne. It's called Goodwater. It's in Northcote. If anyone's nearby, pop by and say hi. But we do have a bit of a focus on kind of American whiskey here. We've got a lot of really awesome vintage American whiskies and then ones from newer distilleries that are doing really cool and fun stuff. So sort of not your usual back bar. And so with the cocktails, we've kind of taken inspiration from some classic American drinks as well. We obviously have our house cocktails, but we also wanted to do really good versions of American classics. And what is more classic than the SAZERAC? So I have done a bigger video on this before, quite a few years ago now, I think actually, but you can look at that here if you missed it at the beginning, where it's quite interesting because in Australia, a split base SAZERAC is actually really common. So that's where they split the base between rye and then also with some brandy. And it's really delicious. If you haven't tried that, you should. We reckon it's probably because Dale de Groff wrote that version into his Craft of the Cocktail book, which was kind of where a lot of younger well, I say younger, we're not that young anymore, but a lot of bartenders of my generation learned the drink. Obviously in the States it stayed really popular, and so it sort of stayed being entirely rye based. So at Goodwater, being that we're an American, sort of vaguely American vibe bar, but in Australia we wanted to nod to that little bit of kind of history or tension there. So we decided to do it with some Applejack in there. We also have the actual Herbsaint. So this is what got used a lot in New Orleans when absinthe was banned. So still has that kind of like absinthe aniseedy flavor, but just no wormwood in there. And then we use Michter's rye, so really like nice, big, bold, sort of spicy rye there as well. And then the all-important Peychaud's bitters. We're gonna go in with a little half a bar spoon of white sugars. I'm not saying this is a classic recipe, this is we just messed around a bit and settled on this as our favorite. And we find that using the granulated sugar rather than a sugar syrup just gives a bit more texture. Obviously don't stress, just use sugar syrup if you'd prefer. And then 5 mils or 1 bar spoon of your Herbsaint. Just use that to wash the sugar off my spoon as well. There we go. It's a little healthy bar spoon. Obviously you can do it the traditional way of rinsing the glass as well. And then I'm gonna go in with 10 mils of Applejack. So this way we're keeping it all American with the apple brandy rather than using a French brandy. And then 50 mils of our rye. And then a good couple of dashes, 1 for luck, 3 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. And then we're gonna give that a stir. Get my little lemon zest ready. Gonna add a tiny bit more sugar. Cool. It's funny how much more the Herbsaint pops when you kind of get the sugar level right there. Strain that into a little nice chilled rocks glass. Little spritz over the top. We just balance that on the side. Look, I know I'm biased, but I genuinely think it's the best SAZERAC I've ever had. So full kudos to John, our bar manager, for that one. The Goodwater SAZERAC. So now you know.